MCT Ghost Life Theater presents Interviewing the Artists. This time it will be Calendar Girls. I'm Ann Guildermann, and I'm your host for the second part of a four-part series. Now behind me, you will see a poster from the British production of this play that MCT hopes to produce in 2021. I have with me today the director and two of the actors who have been cast in this play. And I'd like to begin by having them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Hannah Eckstein. I'm the director of Calendar Girls. I'm excited to join you today. Many of you have seen me on stage. I'm also an actress and have directed, maybe you saw Sordid Lives a couple of years ago. Look forward to seeing you for Calendar Girls.
Thank you. Sally.
Oh, yes, I am so excited. I just hope that we can bring this to everyone next year. I saw the film a couple of times because once was not enough, a few years ago when it first came out. And of course, it's British, it's true story. And I love that, you know, and the English ladies are so prim and proper as a rule. So to see them do this wild thing, I thought, when I heard it was going to be produced by Helen.
And what role will you be playing?
I'm going to be playing Chris.
That's right. Okay.
The wild one.
And Shireen, introduce yourself.
I'm Shireen Doyle, and I am an actor at Mountain Community Theater, and I'm also a house manager. A lot of the time you'll see me pouring wine at the shows, and I miss that a lot. Yes. And yeah, I play Ruth.
Thank you.
And did you ask why we auditioned yet? Is that the...
Yes, okay. My next question was going to
sorry.
be...
Okay.
No, that's good. First of all, I'm going to ask Hannah, why do you want to direct this play? What made you say, hands up, I want to direct it?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking for properties that had, interesting roles for women, just for women in general. It's harder to find scripts. I think the ratio of roles for women are 10 to 1 for men. So I was looking for something. And I'm drawn to projects that have a lot of love in them. This project is oozing love, compassion, friendship, community, which we certainly have here in Santa Cruz and Ben Lomond and Boulder Creek, and all our little communities around here. And I'm also, I think it has a real positive body image. It's got a real positive woman-to-woman communication. The relationships with the husbands, I think, are just delightful. And so I think it's relevant for all of us, especially in these troubling times, to have something that's very human.
And you probably popped into a question that I was thinking of asking later, but I'll go deep now. Sometimes people will say the play has objectified women, but your answer is no, it gives women a positive body image. So I
think so. I think what's nice for me is our cast in particular, we're very supportive of the other women. And in the script, it has the women helping each other, basically, I don't want to give anything away,
right? But
we do have a little bit of nudity. So it's important for the other women to support that. It's important for the women to encourage it and help each other show their true selves. So many times when women are negative or say kind of mean body things. But in this, there's a real sisterhood, you might want to say. And it's also important, I think, because it is a calendar. Each woman brings a different quality. And we can't do it without all 12,
calendars.
Women. Yeah. And it really kind of, for me too, it also signifies the process of putting together a play.
Yes.
We need so many different people to put this on.
Yes.
It's kind of a microcosm of the human condition. And the more we can support each other, the more we can support and not always cut down somebody for body.
Right. Yes, exactly. And then Shireen and Sally, Yes, my question to you is, why did you audition? Why did you want to be in this play?
I can answer that right away. My number one reason for auditioning is because Hannah was directing this play, not necessarily because of the story. So Hannah directed me in Sordid Lives. She brings really unusual, wild shows to our little theater that really expands. Yeah, it really expands our minds and our abilities as actors. And I just had a light bulb go off during that play with how much you can grow and enjoy being on stage. And I can't wait to do it again.
Oh,
It's a little delayed gratification here, you know?
We'll get it there. We'll get it.
Yes.
And then it's also, there's a specific challenge in this play of facing a big fear that is a lot of people's worst nightmare, like when they have a bad dream.
Yes.
This is how they emerge on stage.
Yeah.
And I believe that this is going to be a really safe environment to play this particular part. And if we can do this and conquer this particular fear, there's nothing we can't do. So
Sky's the limit.
yeah, it is a fear, I have to say. It is. It's there.
And Sally, your interest in even auditioning, what drew you to this?
Oh my God, try to keep me away. Well, first of all, of course, I love plays with humor. And again, because it was a true story and it's British. But mostly, I think it's a lot of what Hannah's talked about. It's that camaraderie, that support, that coming together of women. I work with a lot of different women groups, fundraising and so forth. And at this point in my life, my women friends, I know they're there for me.
Yes.
And that's how this movie is about. It's about friendship, how these women, a bonded group of these Women's Institute members come together for a reason, to support the husband of, one of the women. And the play is funny, and it's got pathos in it. And I know with Hannah there is going to be lots of little fun quirks, because I've seen her operate just a little bit in some other plays. But no, and of course the character, well, I am the character. It's me.
So will it be that much acting for you, or will it be more tapping into who you are, which of course is part of the acting process? But are we seeing Sally? Or
actually, that's a very good question. Until we do it, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I do identify strongly with this character. I am a little bit wicked. I do tend to encourage friends to do things that maybe they otherwise wouldn't do. And yes, a lot of it has to do with a little bit of ego stroking there, just as it is for Chris.
Yes.
I mean, I'll be honest, but I just love her spunk. She's out there and she's game for it.
Yeah, she is. Yes, very much so. Did any of you, or do you have currently any concerns, trepidations, something that's pulling you back, saying, now I need to overcome that, or I need to address that? Hannah, let's start with you in directing. Anything that says to you as the director, oh, okay, I need to address this hesitation, fear, trepidation in the directing of it?
I am 100% confident in my cast.
All
I
right.
chose them carefully. Each one of these women are gems, and it's just going to be stellar. Same with, we've got 3 men in the cast as well. I don't mean to leave them out. Stellar. And they all have a lot of experience, and bringing in their life experience. I think that, what I'm also trying to incorporate is the spiritual part of this. The set itself is kind of a challenge, because we have an indoor scene and an outdoor scene. And there's kind of a line that they cross back and forth. We kind of go back and forth between these two areas. And there's a real spiritual component that I really want to embrace and bring to life.
So if there's any fear or trepidation, perhaps the fact that we've got a pandemic going on
Oh,
and
that.
we're compromised. Have all of your actors recommitted to you? And what about your designers? Did you choose designers, and have they recommitted to you?
Well, the world closed down the night before we were supposed to start rehearsal. And so we have had a couple of read-throughs with the entire cast, and all of the cast members at this point are still healthy and well and really want to contribute.
Good.
Our designers, I had started with a set designer, Mark Hoagland, who is very in demand around town. And so it just depends on how it unfolds going forward,
Sure.
who's going to be available, what technical people.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
But we could do this on a blank stage and it would be fantastic.
Yeah. No, that's very valid. Yes, it is.
Hopefully not too blank of a stage. Hopefully there's,
I wanted to say a bare stage.
That's good.
right.
Yeah. And Shireen, any concerns at this point? Trepidation, something that you look at and you say, all right, I need to address that in the character. How do you even approach presenting this character on a stage? Can you share some of your acting, I would say, pre-work?
My character isn't that different from me. I mean, personally, I'm probably not as skittish, and this character doesn't have a lot of confidence. Hopefully I have more than she does, but she builds her confidence, and this group of women and this particular calendar changes how she sees herself. And I have to say I'm having some trepidation about the calendar, but I'm fully confident that with all the support of the women and Hannah will make a safe space. I do sometimes wake up in the middle of the night going, what did I do? But you can't back out. She said that this is non-negotiable in the audition. in the audition fine print. So
that's great. Good for you, Hannah. Good for you to foresee that. Yeah, after they all went home and went, what did I do? Wait a minute.
It's easy to talk the talk, right? You can say talk big and then show up, and you got to bring the goods. So
yes, good. Sally, same question to you. First of all, how do you prepare for this part? What is your preparation work before you even get on that stage? And again, anything that you go, oh, I hesitate on that. I have to think about that one a little more.
Well, I don't have great goods, but what I got.
Oh, yeah.
And I keep thinking every time, during COVID, I'm eating too much. Oh God, I've only got 6 more months to get rid of this belly. And I have been practicing in one part of play. I don't have it here, but I have to throw a blouse over my shoulder.
Yes,
and
yes.
At the same time, cover the nipples. And every time I try it, the little right nipple wants to pop out. So I'm still working on that. That's my trepidation.
So how are you preparing for this part? How do you you said she's so much like you. So how do you, I'm still laughing over her last comment. How do you prepare for a role? Sally.
Well, everyone's unique, right? Every role
that
you do is unique, and I haven't perhaps got as much experience as others, but in this particular one, it's just going over the script a lot, which I've done, and internalizing myself, how I would respond to the situations in the script. And by and large, she says pretty much all the things that I would say. A couple of places where that wouldn't quite be me, but that's all right. So to be perfectly honest in this case, the preparation for this role requires minimal homework as it would for some other deeper role. I shouldn't be saying that in front of Hannah, but it's how I feel. I just feel like there's me on the page. Let me live it. Let me get at it.
That's great. Good for all of you. So Hannah, what do you now see as moving forward? The whole season has been moved to next year. What do you do now as a director kind of on hold? Are you still soliciting designers? What is your work now?
Right this minute, I'm on hold with designers. Nobody really can commit to anything.
Okay.
And schedules change all the time. And even with actors, somebody, you know, we don't know, hopefully nobody's getting sick or their family members
Sure.
or whatnot too.
Sure.
I'm scheduling right now. I'm trying to get scene schedules, rehearsal schedules, so that if we do even have a short window to rehearse,
Yeah.
hopefully that part of it, sometimes that can be tricky with people's various schedules.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've been having monthly play reads just to kind of familiarize each other. So you get to know the other women. Not everybody has worked together. I've worked with Shireen on stage and she's marvelous. And
She is. So have I.
I can't wait, and I've worked with Sally. She's wonderful. So
I wasn't aware. So you're doing monthly read-throughs.
we have done, I think we've done about 3 of them so far.
Because that's keeping that coherency in that cast so that you still feel a togetherness.
Exactly. Our first night of a table read got canceled. It was like, we're supposed to do it the next night and everything stopped.
Yes. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Any questions all of you would like to ask each other? Anything, Hannah, that you'd like to ask your actresses or vice versa? Or of each other?
Well, I'm glad to hear that, we're working on our little fears and trepidations,
Yes.
hopefully, we'll have individual time. I like to have a little bit of individual time with each of my actors. It helps if they are having a problem. I've been acting for a long time, so a lot of problems that come up with actors I'm familiar with.
Yes.
Or I've had it in my own life, and I use my own life in that way. I just want to say one other thing since we're talking about the COVID and the things.
Yes, please.
I think a lot of us, and I think a lot of us in our families have someone who's been sick, either friends or close relatives who we've had to take for a cancer treatment, or we've had to go with your children to the ER. So I think the more we draw on our own experience, I think as women, we're caregivers, caretakers all the time, even if that's not your job description. But there are ways that we're doing that. We're doing that with our husbands and boyfriends and whoever else you have on the side.
Girlfriends and partners.
Partners, whatever. But it's that part that women don't really get credit for a lot of times. You kind of take it for granted, but it's
labor
hard to do.
Yes.
And it's everybody says, oh, it's just mother's love. It's like, that is everything. That's everything. So to me,
that's what we see in the play too.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, everybody coming around the husband or the woman whose husband is ill, and the community of women who draw into it, and find strength from each other.
And I think when someone's going through grief, a friend is going through grief like that, it can be really tricky to know how to support them the best. And you could either be uncomfortable and pull back, or you don't know what the right amount of support is. And I think all the friends are trying to figure out how best they can be there for her.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, there are some friends who don't talk about it, and other friends are, if somebody had just hugged me, yes, the play deals with that, of who gets pulled in closer and who wants the distant bubble further out. Yeah, and all of that is in the play. Yes.
And there is the uncomfortable, a little, or could be uncomfortable. One of the husbands is sick and has cancer, and he still comes to the ladies' meetings.
Yes.
He's still active, and the other men are supporting and talking about him, and oh, my best friend, And,
yes.
Sometimes if your friends are really sick, there's lots of different reactions. Like Shireen said, you tend to shy away maybe, or you don't bring it up in conversation.
Good parallels from the play to the unfortunate present situation. Yes. Hey, this has been great. Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed talking with all of you. And so for our audience who's watching, we are very hopeful that this play will go up next season. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, how was that?
Good to see you all.
How'd you all feel?
Good. It's so good to see your faces without masks on, you know? Smiles and the whole
Yeah,
face.
exactly. As, really, you all brought up some wonderful points. I really appreciate it, and I think the audience will appreciate it too.
I'm wondering if we need to incorporate masks into the production if we ever get back on our feet,
maybe.
you know?
To make it
Yeah.
relevant.
Yes.
And
That's a
Sue Ann,
very
you're
good
such
point.
a good host. I really enjoyed your interview with Cuckoo's Nesters.
That was great too.
You're very
Wow.
professional.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Hey, thanks all so much, and I'll be in touch with all of you.
Okay,
Take care. Have a good day.
thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Sally. Bye, Hannah.
Hi, love
Bye,
you.
Shireen.
Bye.
Love
Yeah,
you. Love you. Thanks, Suanne.
thank you. Stefano, how do I stop recording? Steven?